Hello, welcome to Swiss Watch Game. Today we have a crazy opportunity. We are in New York. We are visiting Jacob&Co, a watch and jewelry brand which has been blowing up since the last few years, creating crazy timepieces in all shapes and forms, and also they're very known for creating meticulously crafted jewelry. As you can see on the table, I have many watches from different time periods, different shapes, collections, some with stones, some with no stones, some simple and some more complicated. We also have a table clock from Jacob&Co on the table, which is quite astonishing, I might say. It's really something I would like to have one day as well on the table, because I think it's probably the best table clock I've seen. It's inspired by the Astronomia model. It has also 4 axes, as you can see, with a tourbillon here, a magnesium globe, a meteorite from outer space, and a skeletonized dial. And the whole thing rotates around as the tourbillon and the time passes. What my plan is today with the watches, as you see here, is to show you basically how it all started and what is the future of the brand. As many of you might remember, the watch department of Jacob&Co started with the 5 Timezone watch, which at the time was worn by pretty much everybody in the entertainment industry. It came in many forms, shapes and sizes, with diamonds, no diamonds, different dials. And it really is, for me, a watch, when I see it, I immediately think of Jacob&Co. As you can see here, you have the Tokyo time, Paris time, New York time and LA time. And the big hour and minute hand, they serve as your hometown, with a special Jacob&Co buckle on the back. I mean, this is really something like you recognize it, you remember it from the past. When Jacob&Co wanted to create more special pieces and more complicated watches, stepping foot into this other world of watchmaking, he created this. It's the Quentin watch by Jacob&Co. A big piece, but very special. You see on the side it has a vertical tourbillon. You can wind the watch and set the time with these little flaps on the side. You just basically push them up. And there's also an exhibition case back on the back side, where you can see a bit of the time and also just the barrels lined up. The tourbillon is not the only special thing about this watch, although the vertical tourbillon might have been one of the first ones in the market. What's special about this watch is the 7 barrels here on top, as you can see marked like in a rose gold type of metal. The watch has actually 31 days of power reserve, which for the time was unbelievable. Nowadays you can see it in a few pieces, but it still is something many watch brands can't really achieve. And Jacob&Co, from my knowledge, was one of the first, if not the first company that did this revolutionary complication. The next watch we can talk about is one of my favorites, because I travel a lot, and I think it's, in the world of watchmaking, for me, if you're a frequent traveler, one of the most valuable complications and functions a watch can have. It's actually the Jacob&Co SF24 watch. SF stands for split flaps. It means that if you remember back in the days where you used to walk on airports, you could see the flaps indicating the departure location and the arrivals, like you can see here when I push the button. On the upper part, the split flaps, you have actually 24 cities, which indicates the name. This model is very special as well because it has a black lacquer dial set with baguettes, as also the cases, and it has a tourbillon, which is also beautiful to look at when you travel, and it's something I'm just a big fan of. It comes in a white gold case with an open case back, where you can see the world and a Jacob&Co logo on it, and on the side you have some rubber like details, and the button is also in rubber, which makes it pretty easy to use because it's very easy to handle. Many people, when they think about Jacob&Co, they think about big watches, diamonds, luxury, extravagance, And it's all true. If you remember, Floyd Mayweather actually bought one of the most expensive watches recently. It was the Billionaire by Jacob&Co, which went for 18 million US dollars. So I have a watch for you here as well to show you guys just how this looks. It's not the same size. It doesn't have the same amount of diamonds in it, which is crazy because this one already, as you see, is like blinged out totally. But it's the Caviar watch from Jacob&Co. The watch features blue hands, blue logo on the dial, and also a 60-minute tourbillon at 6 o'clock. But again, this is a watch you buy for the bling, for the diamonds, and also because you want to treat yourself and you want to basically add some stuff to your collection. What Jacob&Co also specializes in, is very well known for, is the way they set the diamonds and the stones in their watches. They usually use the invisible set technique, which means that the diamonds appear to be just next to each other. You don't see any setting in between, no metal, nothing. So that's why it's called invisibly set. And here, they are invisibly set on the dial and the case, and also on the back of the movement. If we go into a bit of the details, the movement itself has 455 brilliant cut diamonds on the bridges, which you can clearly see here. This is an amazing amount, and the way they put them in there, it's just magical, basically. That's it, there's nothing more to say. The bracelet, the case, the crown, the dial, the bezel, the lugs, everything around it, also on the buckle on the side, are a combination of baguette cut diamonds, and the crown has a rose cut diamond. Altogether, we here have 90 carats of diamonds, or around 800 separate pieces, which is, unbelievable. I also wanted to show you a few ladies' watches here. I brought two on the table. They are both from the Brilliant collection for the ladies. They're both different, but both very beautiful. This one is maybe for me because I love skeletonized watches. So if I would like to wear a few diamonds and a skeletonized movement, I think I would be opposed to wearing this watch, although it's a ladies' piece technically. So what we have here on my right hand is a rose gold rainbow bezel, as we call it, Brilliant Jacob&Co, with a mother of pearl dial, diamond middle part of the dial, and also rainbow indexes, which are basically colorful sapphires, as the bezel is. The crown is also set with diamonds, and the buckle. Again, beautiful watch. In the other hand, we have the skeleton version, which is more focused as well on the movement, which is beautiful, with the rose gold Jacob&Co logo on the top. Baguette cut diamonds invisibly set on the case and the crown, with a rose gold diamond on the crown itself, baguette and different shapes of diamonds covered buckle, and also you can see the case back is skeletonized. What's special about this watch is as well that the inner ring of the bezel or the case is also set with red rubies. So the next watch I want to talk about is the Jacob&Co Twin Turbo collection. We have here the first version, which is a combination of carbon case in rose gold. I love it. The size feels masculine. It's also very distinctive. As you can see, it has two triple axis sequential tourbillons, which move in different speed and different combination. The dial itself is skeletonized, so you can see the back of the movement. And if you turn the watch around, you can see that actually the case back is also opened, very complicated. And on the top, you can see that it's actually a cathedral decimal minute repeater, which means that the watch tells you time with music, with gongs, when you push this lever on the side, like this. If you want to set this watch and wind it, because it's a manually winding watch, you have this lever on the side. You basically push it out, one position as well, and then you can set the time. As you can see, the hands now move. If you want to wind the watch, you push it in, and then you wind it, so you can wind the barrel. And then you put it back, you tuck it in, so to speak. This watch was substituted or basically upgraded, made more complicated in last year when the twin turbo Furious came out. It's a watch you see behind me, but also I have the pleasure, and I'm very lucky actually, to have one in the flesh as well. What's new with this model in comparison to the old one is that the new model has almost the same features. It has two sequential triple axis tourbillons, as you can clearly see. It has a sapphire dial. On the back, it also has the cathedral decimal minute repeater that stayed the same. What's different is that the new watch also has a pit stop monopusher chronograph with a reference time complication, which means that once you measure a car's time of the lap and the car goes around the track and comes once again across the finish line, you press the button on the left side of the watch, and the watch actually calculates if the lap was quicker or slower than the previous one. Again, these things in a digital watch sound very easy to make, but if you imagine a 800 plus component movement, figuring out which wheels to turn and how to basically work and make this happen it's incredible. It's, in terms of complications, again, in my opinion, from what I've seen on the market so far, one of the most complicated pieces so far. And to make all of these types of complications work together as one, it's incredible. The watches you've seen online and on social media the most, in my opinion, probably are the Astronomia Collection watches. The Sky Astronomia, which has a sidereal celestial indication on the bottom. It has the month indicator on the side, a magnesium globe on the top. These are the second hands. Here is a skeletonized hour and minute indication. Basically, here is where you can read the time on this watch. And this is the world famous 1 carat Jacob cut diamond, which is basically a very hard thing to make because the company actually uses a 4 carat diamond and cuts it down to 1 carat because this has 288 different facets, different angles, which is, from what I know, the most complicated diamond cut that exists so far. And last but definitely not least, it has a triple axis polished tourbillon here on the fourth hand. The movement is beautiful, is a work of art, and again, I said this a few times before, watches like these are not something that you use to basically have the most accurate watch. You buy it because you appreciate art, you want to treat yourself, you want to celebrate something in your life, and you want to be unique, and you want to basically have a art piece on the wrist that makes you smile every time you look at it. So the Astronomia line has a few different options, different cases, diamond set, ruby set, sapphire set. They also come with a sapphire, like full sapphire case. And here we have also something which I really love, and it's from the Astronomia Collection. These are usually my favorite pieces. This one is called the Octopus. It has the blue ring octopus in the middle of the movement, which is made out of titanium. Takes over 3 months to create and is also hand painted. So how this goes is a master engraver engraves the octopus, and then a master miniature painter paints the octopus, and they put it gently on top of the movement. So this way it looks like the octopus is basically controlling the whole movement, and it also rotates. As you can see, the watch has a few sapphire crystals on the back, from the sides, from the bottom and the top as well, and of course on the front. And again, It's the signature movement of the Astronomia line, which has 4 hands, triple axis tourbillon, magnesium globe on the top, skeletonized dial with blue hands, and a 1-carat Jacob&Co diamond. The whole rotation of the movement actually takes just 20 minutes to make a full turn. Here you can see another example, which has again a beautiful setting, invisible setting, if I may say that. It's very, again, a signature to Jacob&Co. Again, rose gold case. You can see all the sapphires from the side, the bottom, and the famous movement, which has skeletonized dial, Jacob&Co diamond, magnesium globe, and a triple axis tourbillon. Many people asked me before, how do you basically set up this watch? Because you don't see any crown on the sides or on the top or the bottom. So what you do is, this watch on the back, as you can see, has these flaps. So one is used for setting the time, and one is used to wind the watch. Because as you know, and you can clearly see now, the watch is not automatic, it's a manual winding watch. So what you do is, if you want to set the time, you pull this one out like this, you turn the watch around so you can see what you're looking at, and then you can turn the minute hand, as you can see now. And that's it. Very simple. You set the time to your desired position, and then you put the flap back like this, and you're good to go. If you want to wind it, again, you turn the watch around. You can see there's a beautiful grainy finish and polishing, and there's a little world, and the Astronomia Collection name on the bottom. And this one is for basically winding the watch like this. It's very intimate operation. It's something you again need to do like every 2 days, because the watch has a good power reserve. And again, it's very, very intimate. It's a special moment again when you take the time to wind the watch, because like I always say, you give the watch a new life. You give it like a new opportunity to be accurate and to basically serve you as the user. What Jacob wanted to create is a smaller version of the Astronomia Collection. He came up with the idea for the solar watch, which is this one. As you can see, there's quite a size difference, not only from the front, but also from the thickness of the watch. Again, this is something people also prefer very much so, but I honestly don't mind this one, because it's more 3D, the movement's a bit higher, and again, it has a few more details than the smaller version, which is also beautifully executed. So this is actually a very special edition of the Astronomia Solar Collection. It's called the Zodiac edition, because it has the zodiac signs on the dial, as you can see here. And the whole movement and the basically the layout of the stones shows the solar system that we all live in. So the middle stone actually shows the sun. And we have the Earth here. The dial is also very beautiful. It's actually an aventurine dial, which looks like the skyline. The dial or the base moves counterclockwise, whereas the whole movement with the tourbillon moves clockwise. You can clearly see the difference. And again, visually it's incredible. The cool thing also about this watch is again the use of sapphire. You can see it has a beautifully curved sapphire crystal in the front, on the sides as well, from which you can see the movement. And again, you can see how much craftsmanship they put into this. But also on the top of the watch, as you can see here, with the Jacob&Co inscribed on it, and on the bottom. So basically, all the sides of the movement you can clearly see and examine and enjoy. Jacob&Co also always wanted to associate the brand with the best in the world. So that's why in the last 2 years, basically last year, they made a great collaboration with Lionel Messi, the famous football player, probably most of you guys know. This is the first watch they made with him. It's the Epic X chronograph with a blue dial, blue sapphire like a disc, and also the Macy logo at 6 o'clock with his name on it. This is a special version featuring a baguette covered bezel. The latest collaboration is something many people were very excited about. It's actually a collaboration with one of my favorite car brands. It's a collaboration with Bugatti, as you can see here. And this is one of the watches they created with the brand so far, in just 1 year. What they're gonna do in the future, God knows, or Mr. Jacob himself. I've heard rumors, it's gonna be unbelievable. And I can't wait to see the new watches. This is the first time Jacob&Co basically used carbon in their watches. And this is an exclusive to the Bugatti collaboration. This is the Epic X chronograph with a full forged carbon case and a carbon bezel, the Bugatti logo and the French flag. When you turn the watch around, you can see that there's a Bugatti logo on the buckle itself. And also once you open it up and you see the case back, you can see the Bugatti 110th anniversary logo that they created. They also created a special version of the Twin Turbo Furious in collaboration with Bugatti, which we don't have here because it was just sold a few days ago. I'm happy for the brand, of course, but I would love to show you guys the watch in person. We just gotta be quicker. In the last few months and since Basel 2019, the brand actually created a few more pieces and models of existing collections, and also they created new collections. We don't have the opportunity to have these watches here with me. One of them is this one, a collaboration with Paramount and the movie Godfather, which is just unbelievable. They've also created a few crazy pieces in the last few months. One of them is the mysterious Jacob&Co watch, which basically features a central double triple axis tourbillon back to back that both rotate in the middle. Another watch they created is the oil pump watch, which you've probably seen on their Instagram page. It was trending for the last few months. It's basically a tourbillon at 6 o'clock. I think it's a dual axis tourbillon, and it has an oil pump automaton on the dial itself. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. As you see, this is a very rare opportunity. I had the chance to go to New York, and the brand was so helpful with making all of this happen. We also actually tried to keep a few pieces like this one here just for this review, so I'm really thankful. If you have any questions about the Jacob&Co collection, as you can see, I'm also a collector myself and a fan since almost 2 years now. Let me know, I'm gladly gonna answer all of them. If you wanna see more of their pieces, go on their Instagram or my Instagram because I featured them a couple of times. Thank you for watching and see you next time.